guys, in today's video I'm going to be sharing my top tips on how to rebrand yourself for 2025. These are tips that I'm gonna try to follow myself, and not I usually try to follow myself, but I feel like every year I try to change it up a bit and see what my specific goals are for that year. So yeah, let's just get right on into it. So I have 6 tips for you guys. The first tip is to make a vision board. You can make it with actual like a poster and print out your pictures, glue them together, or you can make it digital, which I personally prefer because I can set it as the wallpaper for my laptop, and then I see it a lot throughout the day, and it's a good reminder to what your goals are for that year, and it helps to keep you motivated. But whatever way you decide to make your vision board, it really helps to put in perspective what your goals are for that year and to like focus them all in just one place instead of having all of your goals kind of like scattered in your brain. Put them all in one place, and it's gonna really help to keep you motivated throughout the year and to focus your attention on these specific goals. So for example, what I like to do is to have goals for a few like categories, like health or self-improvement. You can have it for school or work depending on where you're at in your life. You can have financial goals. It's really gonna depend on what you want to focus on this year. So yeah, that's the first thing that I recommend doing to really know what you need to prioritize this year. The second tip is to focus your first few weeks of this new year on creating a good solid routine. This is just gonna help the rest of the year go so much smoother as far as like energy, productivity, all of that stuff. It's really helpful to have a good set routine, and it takes 21 days to create a habit. So really focusing those first like few weeks, so maybe those first like 2 months, on creating a good morning routine, a night routine, creating good healthy eating habits. And once you have those routines set for a few weeks, then it'll just go so much easier for the rest of the school year. Obviously in summer your routine kind of changes a little bit, but really focusing on setting good routines at the beginning of every quarter, I'd say, is probably the best way to make your whole year go a lot smoother. And also once you're set in a routine, it's so much easier to be productive and to do the things you have to do because your brain kind of goes automatic and knows what to do when you wake up in the morning or when you want to go to sleep at night. You don't really have to think about what you need to get done to start and finish your day. You really just have to focus your attention on what you have to get done that day instead of that. So yeah, I just think getting into a good routine is going to help your whole year go a lot smoother. Tip number 3 is to declutter your environment, no matter what that means to you. It can be your apartment, your bedroom, digital environment, so your phone, computer, laptop, whatever you use. And that's probably one of the first things you want to get done this year. It's not even about being clean. Obviously you do want to have clean room and apartment, but it's more about the mental aspect of it, and it kind of refreshes your mindset when you reset that environment. To me, fresh environment means fresh mindset. It can literally just be to rearrange your furniture. It can be just changing your sheets. It can be just a good deep cleaning of your environment. It can be literally anything, and you'll feel kind of refreshed after it. So I do really recommend that because it is so good for you, and I feel like I am more motivated when I work in a clean environment. Tip number 4 is to learn to enjoy your own company. Alone time isn't something that should make you anxious, and it's super important to be comfortable with yourself and your own thoughts. And this kind of links into being able to reflect on the people that are in your inner circle, which sometimes you don't realize how toxic someone is until you're a bit further away, which has happened to me before. And you definitely want to cut these people out of your life. They drain so much energy, and you do not need those people in your life. There's so many videos on YouTube about romanticizing alone time, and I think it's so important to be able to do that and just to be able to be by yourself for a whole day without having to talk to anybody else, without having to spend time with other people. Obviously it's nice to be with other people, but I think it's important to know that you can be by yourself without being stressed out. Tip number 5 is to prioritize your well-being. Now this can mean a lot of things depending on your goals for that year, so I would recommend before starting anything of that list to set your goals. But this can be eating healthy, it can be exercising, it can be taking care of your mental health, going to therapy, self-care, literally anything. So for me, 2024 was more about my mental health and kind of learning how to cope with it, getting more tips on how to not be as anxious, and kind of learning how to take care of myself in that way. I feel like everything starts with your mental health, because if you're not in a good place mental health wise, then the rest of the habits that you want to implement are just not going to be as optimal as they can be. But in 2025, I do want to work more on my physical health, because I feel like I have a better grasp on how to work on my mental health, which it's a work in progress. It's never going to be perfect, obviously. That is personally what taking care of myself is going to be for 2025. And the last tip that I have, which I have talked about so much in past videos, is self-discipline, and to work on your self-discipline. Self-discipline is essential to be productive as a person and to set habits, to do basically every single thing that I've listed as tips in there. The reality of it is you're never going to be motivated to do every single thing you need to get done at all times. So you need to have self-discipline to force yourself to do those things, because if you only rely on motivation to do all those things, it's never going to work out and you're never going to finish what you started, basically. So those are my 6 tips on how to rebrand yourself in 2025. Comment down below any tips you guys have as well for rebranding yourself in 2025 that I might not have mentioned, and comment down below your main goal for 2025. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.